My guest today is Dr. Dwyer. Drew's a speaker, author, gerontologist, doctor of nursing. He has a set of credentials that I can't even jump over, but he can explain all of that for himself. Drew, welcome to the show.
Oh, hello, and thank you for having me on today.
Now, Drew, I want to talk to you today particularly about your book, because I know you've just published a new book. What's it called and what's it about?
And my book is called Aging in the New Age, and it's a survival guide for baby boomers.
So give us a bit of a table of contents. What are we going to find in there?
Well, it's a small book. It's only 150 odd pages long, written specifically for people who are categorised or classed as baby boomers. And the chapters in the book are actually going to become new books. So there's 9 chapters, and each chapter subject matter will actually be another book as I continue to produce more of them. And it covers things such as getting people to understand their generation and who they are, understanding and dealing with emotional intelligence, looking at healthy and active aging, looking at the negatives of aging and what aging does to us scientifically, medically, looking at sex and sex life, and looking at money and retirement, and of course looking at spirituality and connection with spirituality, and death and dying and the end of life.
Now, Drew, baby boomers are what, 50 to 70 or something?
Baby boomers are currently aged between 52 and 72. So they'll always be baby boomers even as they step up into their 80s and 90s. But right now in the year 2018, a baby boomer is somebody who's aged between 52 years old and 72 years old. So if you sit in that range, you're a baby boomer.
Now, Drew, if you were able to look down the speaker and see all our audience, lots of them are in that baby boomer age range. What are they going to be experiencing that should lead them to get hold of this book? Who are the people that the book's written for in that cohort?
Well, the book's written for two parts of the cohort. The older part, so people over 65, 70. Let's go. Yeah. And because they'll be experiencing probably retirement right now, if they're not already retired and not having a great time at it. And the younger baby boomers who are not quite ready to retire or enter that space, but are very close to hitting the wall and know they have to plan and have to start looking at what they're going to do. So the book's written for really information for those two sets of people in the baby boomer cohort. But I've also written sections of the book, or added in sections for the book, for the parents of the baby boomers, because baby boomers are very close to their parents, and their parents have that passed on generational aspect of raising them in their mentality. And of course, many baby boomers now are assisting, supporting and transitioning their older parents, let's say 75 and above, into the final stage of their life, which of course deals with transitions into end of life palliation and very much needing care and support. And that's a hard thing for a boomer to get their head wrapped around, because they've got to look after their own families and themselves and their retirement, and yet mum and dad, if they both have mum and dad alive, then they've got mum and dad transitioning into probably care, full-time assistance, and if not, aging unwell and dying, probably trying to get a good quality around that. It's a lot of pressure for boomers.
I'm a baby boomer who fits that age range, and I have a 90-year-old mother who's in nursing care and quite unwell at present. And I have to say, and maybe I'm being unkind here, but as a baby boomer doing and caring for my mother in that situation, what I have to say is no bloody way am I going to do that. I'm not going to go down the journey she's gone down.
Yeah, it's a case of, I talk in the book about emotional intelligence. So chapter 2 in the book is designed to get people in our age group thinking of their emotional intelligence, holding on that space you just spoke about. We often see down line and experience now what we don't want to experience when we get there. The unfortunate part is, Wayne, by the time you do get there, if you're not well planned, what you see that you don't want to get is maybe where you'll end up if you don't plan and get your act together not to go there.
And is there, beyond being very wealthy, is there planning that will make that an easier journey?
Absolutely. In a country, Western country, first world country like Australia, there's plenty of things that are in place to support elderly people. Our government and communities are focused in that. So if I speak in that first world zone, that the issues are ameliorated or made better or softened because we have pensions and super and the government subsidies. In a country that doesn't have these types of setups, of course, those countries have built a culture where they look after the elderly inside the family unit. But as the world changes, we're seeing the impact that the rest of the world also doesn't like this space anymore. Culture has changed and society is changing. And in a global space, people want something different. So innovation is the key. And it's not necessarily you have to be rich, but you have to be well planned. So you're either going to plan, if you're rich, and what you do with your money and spend it well, or pass it on as a dynasty, or spend it all into your death because you want a quality death, or you're going to be on the other end of the scale, which says, I've got no money, but I have a good system protect me, or I have a good family unit, so I have to plan with them to make sure the end result's okay for everybody.
Well, it sounds, Drew, like I better get hold of the book and do some reading. Now, there'll be people listening to you today who have said, that Drew Dwyer, he sounds like a chap who knows a few things about this aging business. I need some more of him. How can people reach out to you?
People can go to my website on www.dr-drew.com. That is doctor as in DR for the term or title of doctor -drew, DREW.com. They can link me through there, and they can also find me on Facebook at Dr. Drew, a big man talking, and look for the logo behind me because that's who I am. If listeners don't know, I'm a 7-foot man, over 7 foot tall, so I am a big man and I talk a lot as a speaker. And so find me in Facebook under Dr. Drew, a big man talking.
And I have no doubt if people do go to your website, they can find links to get your book. And its title again, please.
The title of the book is Aging in a New Age, a survival guide for baby boomers, and it's available on Lulu and Amazon.
Drew, it's been a pleasure having you with us. Thanks for making your time available today.
Thanks very much.